Hello and welcome to the second episode of Introverted Reviews, a series in which I review films, television, books and TV shows. This week I'll be reviewing something new that just came out and it's really awesome and really cool and I'm super excited to review it. I'm going to be reviewing the Deadpool movie. Okay, so I just saw it today. When I'm shooting this, it's Wednesday, so I literally just saw it the day it came out here in England and I was scared at first. I was really scared before this film came out because it was coming out from Fox Marvel. And Fox Marvel haven't had the best track record with superhero films. I mean, X-Men The Last Stand, X-Men Origins Wolverine, Fantastic Four. Still mad about that one. Still, I went to see that. It was a waste of my time. How'd you mess up Dr. Doom so badly? That's just... You keep on doing it as well. So we'll get to that later. But I was super scared but super excited to watch this film. It was a weird mix of both, and I tried not to get my expectations up. It's kind of hard to do when this film has had so much promotion going for it. I mean, they've had teasers, they've had TV spots, they've had instructional videos on how to bundle your testicles so that you can find out if you have testicular cancer, which is weird, but it worked with the film and the character, so why not? But I was surprised. I was so surprised. This film was awesome. It was 220% awesome. Like, everything about it was the best. And it's one of the best superhero films I've seen so far. It was so great to see this character on the big screen for real this time and not just a muted version with weird knife, katana, blade, hand, laser beam thing. Okay, it was great to see Ryan Reynolds actually playing Deadpool instead of just like, you know, standing there in that thing. It was a real bad thing. It was a real bad thing. What made the film good, I think, was it was so in keeping with the actual character of Deadpool. I mean, he broke the fourth wall, he made some sex jokes, he made some profanity jokes, he killed a lot of people. And I mean a lot of people. And it was all done really well. Okay? It was all done in the Deadpool style with that fourth wall breaking humor and the breaking the fourth wall while he's breaking the fourth wall. I mean, commenting on the actual film itself and the actual world of films that he lives in. I mean, he makes references to McAvoy and Stewart being the two Professor X's. He makes reference to the fact that Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead are the only X-Men to appear in this film because they probably couldn't afford to hire someone like Hugh Jackman to just appear as a cameo in this film. Which is freaking awesome. I mean, you need that kind of thing in a film like this, especially with a character like Deadpool who is that. That is Deadpool's shtick, okay? In the comics, he is the only comic book character who is knowledgeable and wise to the fact that he's in a comic book, which he makes reference to all the time, turning around, talking to the actual audience, talking to characters who don't actually know he's talking to the audience. It's amazing. And this film encapsulated that so well. Okay, this film was great because it featured a seamless kind of blending of Wade Wilson's origin story with the actual main plot of the film. So you had this kind of look at him in the beginning and how he got to where he is, but it was so seamlessly interwoven with the actual modern film that you weren't watching a bulky origin film. You actually forgot you were watching a bulky origin film. It was like watching two films in one. You have the origin kind of flashback era going into this modern kind of seamless era where he's basically just kicking ass and taking names. And it just works so well. It's an ingenious way to do it. And everybody in the film is amazing. Like, literally everybody in this film could not have done better. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool was the bomb diggity. Like, oh, even when he was just being Wade Wilson, you saw so much Deadpool that it was kind of like, okay, just put on the mask already. We all know it's coming. He was sarcastic. He was just an arsehole, and it was perfect. And I loved it. Morena Baccarin as Vanessa was also one of the highlights of this film. I mean, she managed to keep up with Ryan Reynolds as Wade Wilson, even though he was just this fast-talking, like, arsehole kind of thing. And she kept it going. She kept it along with him. And she kind of felt like the kind of woman that you would expect Deadpool to be in love with. I mean, she's sassy. She started out as a prostitute. I mean, they do weird sexual things together, which Made me feel really awkward, but it was so funny to watch. And she gives as good as she gets in the entire film. So even when the bad guy, Ajax, who's played by Ed Skeen, is capturing her and taking her away and basically saying, "You're mine, and I'm going to use you to get your ex-boyfriend," she's still giving him sass. She's still giving him so much sass. Now, the two villain duo in this film, Ajax, or Francis as his real name is, and Angel Dust, who are played by Ed Skine and Gina Carano separately, are an awesome villain duo. Angel Dust is pretty much just the henchman who just runs in and hits stuff because that's all she does. She's got super strength and everything. But Ajax is an evil genius scientist whose abilities were brought about by experimentation, and so experiments on other people. He can't feel pain, and he pretty much can't feel anything, so he's a sadistic arsehole, and it works in this film so perfectly. Deadpool's kind of fueled by his emotion and his rage to get Ajax for what he did to him. But Ajax doesn't care. Ajax is just a monster. And it's so cool. Especially because for the first film, they chose a villain who is a badass and could totally stand his own against Deadpool, and it makes sense that Deadpool wants to kill him and how he can even stand against him. But they chose a villain which was pretty much expendable so that you wouldn't have to worry about, God, how's he gonna come back? Or it's not like the Fantastic Four where they picked the main villain to be the central villain of the first movie so that when he was eventually done and tired and killed off, they couldn't bring him back. Or they had to use something so unbelievable that they couldn't bring him back. Yes, that's right, came back to the Fantastic Four, they kept on messing up. It's not that hard. They could have gone with the Mole Man, and it would have been great, and you could have Danny DeVito play the Mole Man, and it would have been hilarious. Getting off topic again. Back to Deadpool anyway. Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, they only kind of come in to try and get Deadpool to join the X-Men, but they end up helping him because, well, quite frankly, they messed him up in the first place. So they feel a responsibility to help him, okay? And they are so perfect as a duo. Colossus is the perfect adaptation of what Colossus is in the comic books. He's the perfect guy from Mother Russia who's kind of brutish and kind of really sweet. Like, there's a moment where he's beating the crap out of Angel Dust, he knocks her into a bunch of sheets, and her top comes loose. And he gives her a moment to fix it before she nut punches him and then beats the crap out of him for a couple of minutes. Negasonic Teenage Warhead, though, was awesome. I mean, for a mutant who's never really been established in, like, the film canon, she rocked it so well. Okay, she was sarcastic. She was totally this badass kind of teenage girl who just didn't have time for Wade Wilson and his awesome but cheesy 80s and 90s movie and film references which populated the film. I love them, but some people may not have. And she was just so on point and so what this film needed. And there was no kind of babying like you would expect. There was no kind of babying. Like, you see a film like this and you see someone like Negasonic Teenage Warhead and you see someone like Colossus, you would immediately think that, oh, he'd feel the need to protect her. He didn't. Also, she didn't need to be protected because that girl can stand on her own 2 feet, especially when she's blowing the crap out of people and killing them instantly. Now, the film, as I said before, gave this kind of introspective look on actual films of that type, like superhero films and such. And so there was a lot going on, even from the beginning, where the opening title credit sequence was pretty much just Deadpool writing these kind of credits to say, this guy's an arsehole, that guy's an arsehole, the director's a douchebag, Ryan Reynolds is, okay. And it was really cool because you kind of expect these things to be like actor, production company, director, producer. But it wasn't. It was kind of like a spoof on that, which is kind of what you expect Deadpool to be. And it was everything you could kind of expect from that film. The only real faults that I can find with this film is it felt like the origin took up quite a bit of the film. Mainly because it was intermashed with parts of the modern story, which again seamlessly flowed, but that kind of created a way of not knowing when you're in the past or when you're in the present. So you kind of get the feeling that that beginning part is basically just the origin, and it's taking up the beginning part of the modern story as well. Basically meaning that to me it felt like 2/3 of the film were the origin, and then 1/3 was the final fight. It felt like it wasn't earned. It just kind of came along. I mean, it makes sense if you take the origin part of the film and then kind of just think of it as this is one long event, and it's basically only happened in the space of a couple of months. Which, you can do in your head, and it makes perfect sense, and then you're like, oh, Of course. So the film seems seamless and as one entire production. Also, a weird thing about this film is that even in the beginning of the film, Deadpool states that this is no comedy, this isn't a superhero film, it's a love story. And once you get that in your head, you're kind of like, the ending of the film makes sense, where he basically makes up with his girlfriend Vanessa and they live happily ever after. But to me, that didn't make sense. Mainly because I'm a huge superhero fan, and someone like Deadpool does not end up with the girl. Someone like Deadpool kind of gets rejected, gets heartbroken, and just goes on being an asshole mercenary who goes around fucking people up because he can. And that's kind of what I wanted to see. But it didn't come about in the way that it was supposed to. I mean, the ending was great, don't get me wrong. It felt like it was earned, it felt like it was like really cool and really well done. But I just didn't want it to end that way. But then again, that's just me, you know. I kind of wanted it to end with Vanessa seeing his real face and going, oh, and then turning around and leaving. Which, I mean, is really, really cruel. But it's totally Deadpool in its own way. It's totally how that Deadpool, it's totally how that would end for Deadpool. And, you know, that's just the minor thing. Now, if I was to rate this film, I would totally give it a 9.5 out of 10 because, quite frankly, it's a awesome film. And it's a film that I can watch again. It's a film that I feel like I can watch again and again and again and again. It's funny, lighthearted, but with a serious tone and a totally cool superhero film. The fights are so well choreographed, it is unbelievable. They are basically like one seamless flowing dance. Okay, kick, stab, shoot. Totally cool, totally makes sense. Whew. All in all, Deadpool was a rip-roaring, awesome ride, and I suggest that you watch this film pronto. Because, quite frankly, I think it's going to stand the test of time. I think Deadpool is going to be one of those superhero films that everyone goes to see no matter what. Okay? It redeemed Fox Marvel a lot in my eyes. The only thing I'm waiting for now is for them to let me have a crack at making a Fantastic Four movie. Because I'm pretty sure it could make it pretty damn awesome. Okay? Pretty damn awesome. But now I'm saying that, I realize that that is a total curse, and anyone who has taken on that project has messed up royally. I mean, just royally. They can't even stop. Anyway, so that's all I've got for you now. Stay tuned, because I'm probably going to be doing more superhero reviews, and also reviews on other kinds of films. Like, someone asked me to do Ride Along 2, and I'm thinking of doing that. But, first of all, I've got to watch Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, and give a review on that, because, you know, Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, you know you got to. So, you know, as usual, follow me on Twitter if you feel like it. Like and subscribe if you want to see more videos, because I will be posting more. I don't have a lot of free time on my hands, but I do enjoy making these videos. So peace out.